Hey everyone! I finally started watching Craft Roulette again. It has been a while, and I don't think I've ever done a video for a Craft Roulette card, but I just recently watched episode 285 with Tracy Fear, and the parameters for that episode was you had to make a square card. So I've got a square card base here with a square panel. You have to have dairy aisle colors, and so I have got some random colors here. I'm kind of going with a fall theme, but I've got some colors that could be, I don't know, cheese, chocolate milk, that kind of could be lime, yogurt. That's kind of maybe stretching it, but I know here there's lots of different colors on the packaging of milk cartons and stuff, in cheese cartons in the dairy aisle, so I'm just going to go with that. And I've also got this antique linen distress spritz I'm going to use. You had to have leaves on the card, or something to do with leaves, so I have this leaf die that I got in a magazine of craft dyes at once. I don't even know what brand it is, but there's a couple little leaves I'm going to use. And then you have to have hexagons. So I've got this really old hexagon punch from Creative Memories. Like, I bought this like 20 years ago and it's been sitting in my bag for a while. It's dusty. Anyway, so I'm going to use that. And then I have a stamp set that a pen pal sent me. And it's got some different leaves. I probably am not going to use the leaves on here, but I'm going to use the Happy Thanksgiving sentiment. And then I have this Vicky Bouton stencil, which has hexagons. So let's get started. I think, let's just move some things out of the way. And I'm going to start with the stencil. I can get it out of the package. Okay, so I'm going to put the card base aside for now, and let's work with the stencil. I have got a splatter box, because what I want to do is lay the stencil over top of that panel and use the Distress Spritz. Do it something like that. So I'm going to give this a shake. And let's add some color. And try to carefully take that out of the box and take that out of the box. That looks really pretty. But I also cut another panel because I thought I might just lay one over here and see which panel I want to use. Just give that a good rub. Whoops, come on. There, I have two options. So I'm going to let those dry. I'm going to clean this and be right back. So I've got some scrap cardstock from cutting the card base in the panel. So I'm just going to cut some of these punches, some of these octagons, or hectagons, sorry. Okay, that's really noisy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a bunch of these in two different sizes and come back. Okay, I have cut 6 each of the sizes there, and now I'm going to go and die cut a bunch of the leaves and be back. All right, I have cut out a ton of leaves, way more than I need. But that's all right, because they can go in my little bin of pre-cut things. So those, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to leave white. So I'm going to just set those aside. And I'm going to bring in some of these. I don't know if I might use that. I wasn't quite sure what all I was going to use because I initially didn't think of this. So I just pulled some random finger daubers out. I'm just going to ink up just different parts here and there. Let's bring in some rusty hinge. Craft Roulette has been really fun when I have actually been involved with it. It's been a while since I've actually watched an episode and a long time since I've done a card for it. Before I started my Shanti Art Creations YouTube channel, I was just doing it by my name, and I think I had really only got to, I don't even think I had made 25 submissions. And then I have done a couple since I've been doing the Shanti Art Creations, but I don't even know if I've made 5 submissions under that name. Because there was a time where my husband was busy on Friday evenings, and so I would take part in Craft Roulette, but then his schedule changed, and we can actually do like dinner and a movie on Friday nights. So I tend to do that, and then my weekend gets busy and I don't think about going on and watching the replay. So I don't know why I came across it the other day. I think I was just flipping through some stuff on YouTube while I was crafting earlier, and I think I just saw the thumbnail for it coming up, so I thought, you know what? I can do that because my husband was busy working in the garage. So here I am. So I decided to speed up this process because it did take me a while to get ink on all of these leaves. I don't even know why I did all of them because clearly I was not using this many leaves on this one card. But as I sit at my craft desk, my desk is right against the window and it looks out to the beautiful Cinnamon Ridge hoodoos. So I have a gorgeous view, and then there's a tree in my yard that has all these colors of the leaves that are just starting to change on it. So I think I was just being inspired by my view. Okay, I think I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to clean this up. Okay, let's bring in the panels. It's not quite dry yet. How about this one? That is not quite dry yet either. So I still don't know which one I'm going to use. Let me bring these guys back in. Actually, I don't know if I'll use the little ones. Let me see what I've got. I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to place a leaf on a hexagon and obviously have the panel down, but I'm kind of thinking I might just do like that type of a thing. How many would I have on here? Now I don't know. And then I think I will do the Happy Thanksgiving, or I could do Give Thanks. You know what? I'm going to dry the panels so I can play with them. Okay, they may not be perfectly dry, but I don't know which one I should use. This one's very subtle. Okay, these are gonna fit. Okay, I could fit 3 there. You know what I think I want to do? I think I want to ink the edges of the octagons with, let's go with the frayed burlap. So I'm just speeding this part up again, just because you don't need to see this in real time. You know what, I think I might want to go around the panel as well. I'm just not quite sure yet which one I'm going to use, so I will wait on that. But I do definitely like the little bit of ink on there. It just helps it to stand out a bit better. So I was just playing with some different placement here to get an idea of how I wanted the leaves. So I should decide too, do I like it on that one or do I like it on this one? I almost think I like it on this one. It's a little more subtle, so I think I'll save that for another project. And I probably will do that. I wonder, there's so much orange in there, I might pull in one of the green ones. Or maybe this one that's got green and orange. I am overthinking this way too much. Okay, I think what I will do next is go find my Misty so I can stamp the sentiment. Hopefully it stamps well on that spray. about there-ish. Take these off. And let's just make sure that is straight. Yeah. And then I like to stamp my sentiments with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. I really don't know how it's going to do on there. Guess we're about to find out. Oh, that works beautifully. So I'll give a quick wipe to my stamp. And I am going to emboss that with clear embossing powder. Just have to grab paper to catch the powder. And shout out to my lovely pen pal Christina for sending me that stamp set. Okay, I'm going to use my heat gun. I will be right back. I'll do that off screen. Okay, that worked great. And I am going to come in with that same frayed burlap and just go on the edges of this as well. Just makes it stand out a little bit more. You know, this color, going back to the Dairy Isle colors, this could be chocolate, could be chocolate milk, but what I'm thinking of is the first time I went to Switzerland. We were staying at our friend's place there, and for breakfast we had, well, many things, but we had yogurt as a part of the breakfast, and I was so surprised, and like pleasantly surprised, to find they have yogurt with chunks of Swiss chocolate in the yogurt. Oh, that was so heavenly. So there we go. This is my Swiss chocolate yogurt color. Okay. Yes, I definitely like how that is standing out. Oh no. I'm getting color on there. I can turn it over. But you know what I find with the Distress Oxide inks? The color takes so long to dry. So you know what I'm gonna do? I do this sometimes if I ink up the edges with Distress ink. I am going to heat emboss with clear embossing powder, and that just means that those edges do not, the color doesn't come off and I don't make a mess and smudge things. So I'm just dipping all those edges in the powder, and I will go off screen and heat set this. All right, that is embossed, which means it is no longer going to leave smudges. So I'm going to bring in my Barely Art glue. And I sometimes struggle with getting the panel straight on the card, so I tend to line it up to my liking, and then I just hold part of it down and add glue. Oh goodness, oh okay. I was like, wait, is my glue clogged? Give it a little press and then flip it over and do the same thing on this side. these guys. I'm going to line up the hexagons so that they're kind of evenly spaced in here. That's roughly how I want them, and I will glue these down. Okay, got all those. Now I'm just going to make sure that I'm happy with the different leaves that I have. Maybe I want this guy over here. Kind of breaks up the orange a little bit. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I apologize if you can hear the train that is going by right now. Okay, I like that. I think I might just get a couple of maybe some sequins or something to go on here. Okay, I found some nail art gems that I thought, okay, that's noisy. This little gold one. Oh goodness, that was a mistake. And the train just got louder. Wait a circle. Okay, there's a flat one. Okay, turn over. Seriously. I think I will just do that. I tend to overthink the placement of embellishments so much, and I can spend so much time going back and forth. I just put way too much glue on there. Glue is just kind of oozing out. But at least it's a glue that dries clear. All right, I think I am done. So this is my card for Craft Roulette episode 285 with Tracy Fear as the guest. And the parameters were a square card, which I've got, Dairy Isle colors, which I've got, leaves, which I obviously have, and hexagons, which I have 2 different ways. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, peaceful day.